You've been there, right? A tiny disagreement blows up into a massive fight. You feel your heart pound, your voice gets louder, and you walk away feeling totally frustrated, even if you were technically right. It's exhausting. And what's worse is replaying the whole thing in your head, thinking of all the perfect comebacks you should have said. You feel disrespected, misunderstood, and just powerless. This whole cycle can wreck your relationships, make your job miserable, and steal your peace of mind. It feels like a battle you just can't win. But what if you could not only win arguments, but completely transform them? What if you could stay perfectly calm and in control every single time and steer any conversation exactly where you want it to go? This isn't some fantasy. It's the 2,000-year-old wisdom of the Stoics. This is basically a cheat code for handling real-world chaos, and it works just as well in a modern office as it did in the Roman Forum. The Stoics, guys like Emperor Marcus Aurelius and the legendary teacher Epictetus, were masters of human psychology. They knew the real fight isn't with the other person, it's inside your own head. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 insane Stoic strategies to master any argument. These aren't cheap tricks. They're game-changing shifts in mindset that will give you an unshakable inner calm and a quiet, powerful confidence. And pay very close attention to strategy number 4. It will literally change how you handle conflict for the rest of your life. Section 1. Strategy 1. Master the art of active listening and intentional silence. The first and most powerful Stoic strategy is also the most counterintuitive. In a world that loves fast talkers, the ultimate power move is active listening and the strategic use of silence. See, most of us don't actually listen. We just wait for our turn to talk. We're so busy thinking up our next point that we miss what the other person is actually saying. The Stoics knew this was a massive mistake. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote a note to himself. Practice really hearing what people say. Do your best to get inside their minds. This wasn't about being polite, it was a command. Getting inside someone's mind means you understand what's driving them, their fears, their goals, their blind spots. That's where the argument is really won. Active listening isn't passive, it's a full-on focus. You have to set your ego aside and give the other person your complete attention. Listen to the words, but more importantly, listen for the meaning behind them. Think of it like this. If you listen carefully, you start to see the map of their logic. You spot the weak points, the emotional triggers, and the escape routes to a better conversation. And when you do this, something crazy happens. The other person starts to feel heard. The tension just dissolves. A person who feels understood is way less likely to attack you. You're basically disarming them with respect. Let's make this real. Imagine a coworker is blaming your department for a project delay. The normal reaction is to get defensive. No way, your team missed its deadline first, and now you're just stuck in a blame game. The Stoic approach? Let them talk. Don't interrupt. When they're done, instead of fighting back, you clarify. You say, okay, so if I'm hearing you right, you're upset the project is late, and you think the holdup is on our end. Is that basically it? This does 2 things. It proves you were listening, and it forces them to confirm their point, usually in a much calmer way. Now for part 2, intentional silence. The philosopher Seneca knew that a well-placed pause is a secret weapon. In an argument, we rush to fill every silent moment because we think it makes us look weak. A Stoic sees silence not as empty space, but as a tool of control. When your opponent makes a crazy or flawed point, instead of jumping in, just pause. Hold that silence for a second longer than feels normal. This shows you're confident and not rattled. It also messes with them. They expect to fight, and when they don't get one, they start second-guessing themselves. They might even rush to fill the silence and end up revealing more than they meant to. As the Stoic teacher Epictetus said, you should stay silent unless your words are more valuable than the silence. By listening first and using silence, you change the whole game. You're not just fighting anymore, you're leading. Section 2. Strategy 2. Employ the Socratic method to guide and reveal. Once you've got them listening, you move to the next strategy, the ultimate Uno reverse card of arguing. You stop making statements and start asking questions. This is the Socratic method, a technique so powerful that the Stoics built their entire teaching style around it. Here's a hard truth about people. They hate being told what to think. When you hit someone with facts and tell them they're wrong, their brain just digs its heels in deeper. It's a real thing called the backfire effect. The Socratic method is the ultimate workaround. You're not telling them anything. You're helping them figure it out on their own. Instead of attacking their argument, you ask a series of sharp questions that expose the flaws in their logic. You're not an opponent. You're a curious guide. Epictetus was a master at this. He'd calmly ask questions until his opponents realized their own arguments didn't make sense. That moment of confusion is where real learning begins. Let's try it. Your relative says, investing in stocks is just gambling. It's way too risky. The old you would have dumped a bunch of stats on them about average market returns, and they would have just ignored you. The Socratic Stoic starts asking questions. First, you ask, interesting. What does the word gambling mean to you? They'll probably say, it means you can lose all your money. Then you ask, okay, so is any activity where you could lose money considered gambling? Now they have to think. Next, you test their logic. So, is starting a business gambling? What about buying a house? The value could go down. Where's the line? You're not attacking their idea. You're just holding up a mirror to their own rule. Finally, you ask a question that suggests a new way of thinking. What if the difference isn't safe versus gambling, but uncalculated risk versus calculated risk? Is there a way to invest with a strategy instead of just hoping for the best? Through that whole conversation, you never called them wrong. You just guided them through their own thought process. They're way more likely to change their mind because it feels like they came to the conclusion themselves. You didn't beat them, you coached them. This works everywhere. In a meeting, instead of saying, that plan is terrible, ask, what are the key assumptions we're making for this to succeed? It turns a fight into a collaborative search for the truth. And as Marcus Aurelius said, no one is ever actually harmed by the truth. Section 3. Strategy 3. The strategic withdrawal. Choosing your battles wisely. Our third Stoic strategy is all about knowing when to fight, and more importantly, when to walk away. The Stoics taught that not every argument is worth your time and energy. Being able to strategically bail on a pointless fight isn't weakness. It's a sign of serious strength and self-control. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man on earth, and he constantly had to decide what was essential and what was just noise. He famously wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The real win isn't in an argument. It's in living a good life, and pointless fights just get in the way. Epictetus was even more blunt. He basically said you can be invincible if you never enter a fight you can't win. He wasn't talking about winning the argument. He was talking about contests of character. A wise person only enters battles that are actually worth their time. So how do you know which ones to skip? Before you jump into an argument, ask yourself a few questions. What's the point? Is this a real search for a solution? Or is this person just trying to show off, vent, or troll you? If it's about their ego, engaging is just feeding the monster. Is this person even capable of reason? You can't use logic to pull someone out of a position they didn't use logic to get into. If they're running purely on emotion or prejudice, your brilliant points will do absolutely nothing. What's actually at stake? Is this a huge decision at work? Fight that battle. Is it a random argument with a stranger online? That's a massive waste of your finite time on this planet. Once you decide a fight is pointless, you need to master the strategic withdrawal. Don't just storm off. One move is to agree with a small part of what they said and use it to exit. Wow, you've clearly put a lot of thought into this. It's a really complex issue. You're not saying they're right. You're just validating their effort and smoothly backing out. Another move is to postpone it forever. I don't think we're going to agree on this right now. Maybe we can pick it up another time. This frames your exit as an act of respect. A third, very Stoic approach is to use self-deprecating humor. Honestly, you're probably right. I get this stuff wrong all the time. This response sucks all the conflict out of the air. They have nothing to push against. Choosing your battles is the ultimate act of self-respect. It's you declaring that your peace of mind is worth more than winning some stupid fight. You win the war by refusing to fight the pointless battles. Section 4, Strategy 4, The Inner Citadel, Mastering Your Emotional Response. Alright, this is the one I told you to watch for. This strategy is the core of Stoic power. It's the practice of building what they called an inner citadel, a mental fortress that chaos can't touch. The main idea is simple but revolutionary. It's not events that upset us, but our judgments about those events. Epictetus, a guy who was literally a slave, taught this better than anyone. He said that people aren't disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. An insult, a criticism, an attack, none of these things can actually harm you. They're just external events, like bad weather. The anger and frustration come from the story you tell yourself about what happened. This is the most empowering idea ever. It means your emotional state is 100% in your control. Let's say someone in a meeting calls your work naive. Instantly, you feel that anger rising. But wait, did their words physically hurt you? No. The pain comes from the judgment you immediately made. They disrespected me. They made me look stupid. Those are just opinions, not facts. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. So, mastering your emotions is a two-step process. You create a pause, and then you reframe your judgment. Step 1 is what Seneca called the sacred pause. He said the best cure for anger is delay. When you feel that first flash of anger, you have to train yourself not to react instantly. Take a deep breath. In that moment of air, you're letting the rational part of your brain catch up to the emotional, reactive part. While you pause, just observe the anger. Notice your clenched jaw or tight chest. When you watch the emotion instead of becoming it, you separate yourself from it. You realize you're the one watching the anger, not the anger itself. Once you have that pause, you move to step 2. You consciously reframe the story. The person called your idea naive. Instead of the story, they're attacking me. You can choose a better one. The helpful reframe. Maybe they see a flaw I missed. Their feedback, even if it's blunt, could actually be a gift. The indifferent reframe. That's just their opinion. It's just thoughts in their head, and I don't control that. It has no power over me. As Marcus Aurelius put it, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. The empathetic reframe. Wow, this person seems really worked up. Maybe they're having a terrible day. Their reaction probably has nothing to do with me. Building this inner citadel is like going to the gym for your mind. It takes daily practice. Start with small things, like someone cutting you off in traffic. Use it as a rep to practice the pause and the reframe. When you enter an argument from inside this fortress, you are invincible. Their anger and insults just bounce off you. Your calm becomes your shield and your weapon. An emotional person will always lose to a calm person because your tranquility will just make them more frustrated while you remain completely at peace. And that is the definition of winning. Section 5, Strategy 5. Focus on truth, not victory, the dichotomy of control. This final strategy ties everything together. It's about applying the Stoics' most famous idea, the dichotomy of control, to every argument you have. Epictetus nailed it when he said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." What's up to us? Our own thoughts, our judgments, and our actions. What's not up to us? Everything else, especially the opinions and reactions of other people. The secret to a peaceful life is to put 100% of your energy into what you can control and accept the rest. When you go into an argument trying to win, you're trying to control something you can't, another person's mind. This is a guaranteed recipe for frustration. You can have the most perfect, logical argument in the world, and they can still refuse to accept it. So, the Stoic changes the goal. The goal is no longer to win. The goal is to represent the truth as you see it, with total integrity. The goal is to act like your best self, no matter what happens. You're shifting the goal from something external, victory, to something internal, your own character. Think about a Stoic archer. The archer can control their breathing, their aim, and their release. They can do everything perfectly, but once the arrow leaves the bow, they can't control a sudden gust of wind. So the archer redefines success. Success isn't hitting the bullseye. Success is a perfect shot. If they did their part perfectly, they succeeded, whether the arrow hits or not. That's exactly how you should see an argument. Your job is to listen with focus, strategy 1. You control that. Ask smart questions, strategy 2. You control that. Choose battles worth fighting, strategy 3. You control that. Manage your own emotions, strategy 4. You control that. State your case with clarity and reason. You control that. Whether the other person agrees with you, that's the gust of wind. It's out of your control. When you let go of the outcome, you free yourself from all the anxiety. Your confidence becomes magnetic. People are way more likely to listen to someone who is secure and calm, not desperate to win. And by focusing on truth instead of victory, you stay open to the idea that you might be wrong. As Marcus Aurelius said, if someone can show him he's wrong, he'll happily change his mind, because the only person who gets hurt is the one who stays ignorant. When you see it this way, you literally can't lose. If they agree with you, awesome. If they don't, but you acted with total integrity, you still won the only battle that matters, the one with yourself. So, let's recap the 5 Stoic strategies to dominate any argument. First, master listening in silence. Stop waiting to talk. Start hearing. Use silence as a power move. Second, use the Socratic method. Don't attack. Ask questions that guide people to the truth. Third, practice strategic withdrawal. Know when to walk away. Your peace is more valuable than being right. Fourth, build your inner citadel. Remember, nothing can hurt you without your permission. Pause and reframe the story you tell yourself. And fifth, focus on truth, not victory. Redefine the win. Control what you can control, your own actions, and let go of the rest. These aren't just tricks. This is a blueprint for reclaiming your power in a world full of chaos. Winning an argument isn't about beating someone else. It's about beating your own ego, your own anger, and your own reactive impulses. The next time you feel an argument heating up, remember you have a choice. You can be the calm in the storm and the voice of reason in the noise. And that is a victory no one can ever take from you. If these Stoic secrets resonated with you, subscribe for more ancient wisdom for modern problems. Smash the like button to help spread this video, and I want you to do one more thing to make this stick. Go to the comments and type "stay calm" to lock in your commitment to mastering your inner world. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 strategies is the most game-changing for you? Let me know in the comments.